Hello everyone, Melissa here, and I am back because I'm going to start another layout. And so, yeah, I want to start sharing the products that I'm going to hope to use. So first off, I'm going to do a 12 by 12 layout. And I'm going to do it of this picture I took of my husband and I a few weeks back for our anniversary. And so I pulled a Stampin' Up! Paper pack called T for Two Designer Series. It's from a few years ago, but it's got a lot of really fun, soft colors in it, and I really liked that just soft feel. So I went ahead, and the first thing I did already, actually I'm hoping to use this color blue anyway from the pack, so I'll just put it on here. This was a Paper Issues, one of their free file cuts, and so you can just go to their store and get it for free. They have a whole bunch, actually. It's a lot of fun. So I'm hoping to use actually I am going to use this in some way. I'm going to figure this out to get it on my page as a background. And then I have some gray and some pinks. And then the other thing that I want to use, this is actually from Heidi Swapp. It's part of their kind of gold foil, and I've used a piece of this before on a New Year's Eve layout where I gold foiled it. And actually, essentially, these are like sticky foam because there's a sticker here. And what I did is I don't have a ton of embossing powders, colors anyway. I'll put this on. Will you be able to see it better in white? I don't know. So if you can see this dot right here. So what I did is I took this sticker off, and my original thought was to emboss with embossing powder. And then I was like, well, I don't have a ton of colors, and I didn't really want to go with black because I've been doing a lot of those black word like thickers recently, and I mean, I could have just left this white as well. I mean, I still think I might. I don't know, but the one thing I do need to conquer is taking the sticky off because I don't like this shiny on top. So I keep my, this is like my version of anti-stick powder tool. It's just cornstarch and an old paintbrush. And I actually tested it on this little dot right here. And actually, once the stick was off and I dusted off the cornstarch, I took an alcohol marker. You can use Copics, I guess, or I used a Spectrum Noir, like a blue-gray, and I just colored it. And it's going to work out perfect. So I have a whole bunch of colors, so I'll just pick my color, and once the stick is off, I want to use this My Heart as my title. And yeah, we'll go from there. I haven't decided on the stamps I'm going to use, but I'm also working on a project for bashing my stash, and so I have a fun little video coming up for all of you out there that like to go through your stash, and yeah, it's going to be a fun challenge for myself. So yeah, stay tuned. Bye. Hello everyone, I'm back, and I have the layout finished. So let's have a look, and then I will tell you what I've done. So here it is. If you remember, it's a 12 by 12. And I'll do some close-ups. Okay, so I did end up using the collection pack from Stampin' Up! That I told you I wanted to use. This one's actually called T for Two. And the funny thing about this pack is that I ordered it in air several years ago, and I've actually used it quite often. So yeah, it was kind of like when I ordered it, I was kind of like, oh shoot, that's not what I wanted. And actually I've really been enjoying it. So so I used that backed up onto a piece of light smoky slate gray cardstock, and but I did some mixed media on it. And so what I did is I took clear gesso and I put it on the background, and then what I did is I started using my watercolors, and this happens to be my favorite set. It's the Kuretake or whatever. But I ended up using these three blues, 61, 64, and 66. And I just mixed them together and did the packaging technique and smushed them on my background. And then what I ended up doing was using some of this Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. And this is the turquoise blue. And what happened is that I didn't like it. And I don't know if you can see, but some of the blue spots made their way through and I didn't like it. So I ended up adding white gesso just to kind of tone down a lot of the splatters. And so that's why you see like a very, you know, white, cloudy kind of mix. But I like it. So I went and then added my cut file. And the way I manipulated it is kind of an easier way for me than in my studio files when I'm like manipulating it that way. So I put it kind of on, you know, like right justified. And then I ended up trimming off the pieces. And in doing so, I was able to save some of the hearts fully intact. So then I just went ahead and like cut away. So as you can see, like from here, you can't even tell, but this one was added. And then these two up here were added and this one was added just to kind of, because I wanted it kind of to have a, you know, top to corner flow. And this file was more of a square. So yeah, and then all I did was did some layers, used like one of my, let's see, I used one of these are like those photo overlays. I used some enamel dots for my stash. And as you're gonna see, I'm gonna post a video here next about how I'm planning on bashing my stash. So it's going to be fun and it'll be a nice challenge for me. So starting at the top, I took the stick off of the word My Heart from this Heidi Swap pack. And it comes like this. This is actually how it comes. It's meant to be like a foiling, home foiling for people that don't have maybe the Mink machine, because you can just put this on and run it through your Big Shot and that's it. So that's how it comes. And then I took the stick off like I was explaining, and I just used BGR3 for my Spectrum War markers and put 2 coats of it on there, and I love how soft it looks. So looks almost like tie-dyed. It's exactly how I wanted it to look. I added my journaling with, because I don't have a 12x12 typewriter or printer, I just used these self-adhesive vellum sheets and ran it through my typewriter. And really you could type on your typewriter with regular vellum and then just run it through like your Xyron so that you don't see the stick. But this was easier for me. I did want to show you that I did color my title with a Spectrum Noir marker, but it does also take to a Sharpie. And I did use a navy Sharpie. I have Sharpies in every color because I like to alter wood and whatnot, and enamel dots and anything else that I want to change. So it does alter with a Sharpie. This is a navy Sharpie, and I just recolored that dot, and that's what it looks like. So, so that's fun. And then I just did my layers. I did some tissue paper. I did some scraps of paper, some pieces of paper. This was actually a label from my stash, a vellum label, and I added 16. And those were just cut from, you know, numbers that I keep in my ephemera box with alphabet, like tile stickers and regular stickers. I keep a little package of miscellaneous little goodie bags that I have in my stash. And so I added one of those behind the photo. And then I just put a tag in there that I cut from my Lawn Fawn Tag-Your-It. And some twine that Monica from Scrap Saturdays, I've done it on a couple layouts now. I like where she balls it up, and rather than cutting it off, she just tucks it or staples it. And so that's what I did. This tag is just for show. It's actually glued in there because I wanted all my string to be glued in there. So, but yes, then I added some Glimmer Mist to heart. That's from my stash. It was just a die cut, probably from Simon Says Stamp. Added some more enamel dots. This is a really old piece of ephemera, you guys. It was in my Word box that I keep all my ephemera in, and it says A Perfectly Delightful Day, but it's from October Afternoon, and I just tucked it in there. This is a file tab piece of ephemera that I stamped Love on, and I used this stamp from Winnie and Walter, And then I also used, on the other side of the photo, this is a stamp set from Allie Edwards. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called, but I used one of the sentiments here, right on the side here. So totally thankful. And actually, I ended up using Stampin' Up! Ink. And I don't know if you guys know it or not, but you can emboss with Stampin' Up! Ink. So, you know, it's a dye ink, but it stays wet for a little while to dry, and especially on vellum. So I just went ahead and clear embossed it on a piece of vellum. And then to give it a little bit of interest, I cut the piece out with my large stitched rectangles from Lawn Fawn. Sorry. And so that was it. I really like it. I think it's exactly how I wanted it to turn out. So I'll show you another close-up so you can see. And yeah, I think it turned out super great, and I'm really happy with it. So I do plan to come back with a video about how I'm going to bash my stash. So yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Cut It Up Creations, Instagram at Cut It Up Creations, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel to get more videos. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.